everyone, we are here with Alena Chinault and co-writer and director Javier Devitt. They have a new short film premiering at South by Southwest, and it's called Eyestring, and it's amazing. So, Alena, Javier, how are you?
You're great.
Doing
You're
well.
happy.
Yeah, very excited.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so can you tell us about the film?
Should I
Go
start?
ahead.
So the short film is 8 minutes long, and is the story is like a woman that is has a string growing out of her eye, and she like starts trying to find the answers for that thing.
Okay, so the whole time I was watching it, I kept going, like rubbing my eyes, so it was super effective. But how did this idea come about?
Well, it's different. It's of course, like every idea comes from different things, right? Like we just moved to LA. At that time was like a year, so we were like our first year in LA. So I think like a lot of how the city of LA is, and I think that inspires us to tell a story of like someone trying to like solve a mystery, and yeah, I think that was like the starter of it, and being in the car too, like, so we like took a lot of different ideas that we had and we incorporated in this mix.
And you kind of pieced them together with the through line of a string and an eye. That's I love to figure out how a story has developed, because sometimes it's just that random, you know.
Well, yeah, I think like if you ask for like the eye from the string is specifically came from I have a lot of nightmares, and I use those images that I have, so that's like only an excuse to tell the story of the whole short, right? It's not like we only kept with that, so we have that idea of the string, and then we like start adding different ideas of it to try to make it interesting, you know.
I mean, were there other ideas that you floated, like things coming from other things coming from the eye, or like, you know, oh my god, it's a cucumber, what's happening?
Well, we try to keep it simple. I think like one of the strengths of the short is that it's pretty simple. It's not that complicated. It's not gory. It's like, of course, it's kind of shocking, but we don't have blood or anything too graphic.
Right.
I think in the simplicity, I think it makes it a little bit more relatable in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't show it to a big audience yet, but the few people that watch it are really have a really impact on them. So yeah. I think sometimes not being like extra gory help, because it's like
no, blood isn't scary. It's not. It's uncomfortable, but it's not scary. So, you know, there you go. Please forgive me for 1 second. We started a little early, and Michaela is asking to come in, so forgive me.
No problem.
Okay. Hello? Can you hear
Hi,
us?
this is Michaela.
Hi, Michaela.
I'm just here to listen in and make sure everything's
You're
all
fine.
set.
We actually had already started, so I paused for a hot second.
Okay.
And
I'm sorry, I was in the waiting room.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
All right, I'll go back to being mute and off video.
All right. Thanks, Michaela. Okay, so I don't know. It's obviously it's you know, it's only 8 minutes, but what an 8 minutes. But it seems to me, what I walked away with, it seemed like kind of a commentary on the mismanaged mental health system, things like that, kind of that cold, you know, management of it all. Am I picking that up right? Or
yeah, totally. I think it's like I'm from Argentina, and I just moved to the US like 5 years ago. So one of the main differences that you pick it up really fast is like how the health system is here. So, and how
Sorry.
like,
I'm sorry.
yeah, and how therapy is too. So we use all those things to talk about it. I think it's like something that happened when you write something. Is like you incorporate what is happening to you at the time.
Sure.
Of course, when we wrote it, it was like not that long ago, but it's like I'm a different person that now, and at that time we were going through those things. It's like, and you put all that in the mix, you know?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, you're totally right. There is like a commentary about that. There is a like about being alone in this city too.
Right.
How other people look at us, how we see ourselves in other people, because she has like, when she sees the sign and like this other person that is like have kind of like the thing kind of solve, and she doesn't, and like how she mirror herself with this other character. I don't know. I think there's a lot of things we kind of mix all together.
Yeah. So you had mentioned this before. You kind of touched on it, but the film does premiere Friday at South by. But what are the reactions from friends and family that you guys have gotten?
You can answer that.
I think you've had some
Well,
more powerful
I think something
reactions.
that I like is people get a little haunted with the image and they remember it later. Like I have several friends that send me messages saying like, I cannot stop thinking about that short, like about that image. It's like I'm in the shower and I'm thinking about that, or I see a hair and I'm thinking about that. And we have a couple, and it's interesting because like I shot different things before, and probably this is the first time that I have that reaction from people like telling me that that thing is, or people that saying is like, I'm such an special thing for eye horror.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and like I think I think that was it's a good thing to
No, that's the whole point,
terrorize
you know.
people.
Yeah. Alena, your performance felt to me very natural.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I want to know how much of that was natural. Was that string practical, like when you were driving, or was that put in?
It was a combination. There were some shots that I had the string just taped right next to my eye, and then there were some where we added it later. So yeah, it wasn't like that much of a departure for some of the scenes to imagine it actually happening. I think probably the end scene was the most challenging with that, because we did that with nothing for most of the close-ups in the final scene. I didn't have anything at all. So, but by that point, you know, luckily we shot like somewhat chronologically. So by the time we were shooting that final scene, I had just spent so much time in this mindset of this terrible thing going on in my body that it wasn't that hard to imagine it by then. Just like being just like tortured by this string.
I loved the little nuances, especially in the car. I think is one of my favorite moments, even when you're like distracted. It's like, oh God, I am driving. There were some wonderful moments there. So is this a proof of concept for a feature, or
Well, we have
yeah,
we yeah,
Hopefully.
I mean, we always think like the short has a lot of like world into it. Yeah, like there is a lot of things happening. So it's I don't feel it's like really hard to imagine how a feature could be, because there is a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
So
we already outlined the feature. Actually, we have a treatment for it. And yeah, it was really fun because, like Javi said, there's just like such a world around her, and it's such a strange world, and it just like trying to determine what the rules of that world are is really interesting. It's like what is really going on in the architecture of the story, and like why is this really happening to her? And it's just, even if that's not overtly answered in the script, it's really fun to just figure that out, because yeah, like LA is just such a mysterious kind of very like noir-y place, and I think we never expected it to inspire us in that way. Like everyone thinks of LA as a super like sunshiny, like happy place, but it has like a darkness to it.
Oh,
And
yes, it does.
and yeah, we would just love to explore that more, like just this mystery of why this is happening to her and how.
Well, I'm gonna hate myself for saying this, but I'll let you string us along um with the plot, and I won't ask too many questions because I also don't want to give away spoilers for anybody that is going to see the film. But yeah, there were notes of Cronenberg, there were notes of Lynch.
Mhm.
It was super cool. So
Yeah,
you know,
Thank you.
Cronenberg is like a big inspiration in general,
Yeah.
especially the early movies, like Rabbit, like The Woman Alone, and that's I'm glad that you pick it up, because it's like Cronenberg is like everything.
Yeah.
What do
We
you think
bow
of-
down to Cronenberg.
well, yeah, he's amazing and
Right.
wonderful filmmaker. Even his lesser films are fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
So, do you like Brandon stuff?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, my God,
My God.
it's so good. Well, aside from hopefully getting this into a feature, and what else? What else do you have going on?
Well, that for now is like going to South by. We are trying to like, that's the main thing that we have in our minds.
We have another short in our back pockets.
Yeah.
Another short film that we've been just talking about over the past year and kind of just developing slowly. I think it would require like a little bit bigger of a budget than this one, so that's why it's just kind of in the back burner right now. But I think we'll see, you know, how everything plays out with the short and with festivals this year. And then if we find ourselves sitting by the phone once again, then we'll make that short.
I mean,
Yeah. And the thing with this one is like we didn't have a crew. So
Yeah, it was literally the two of us. We didn't even have a sound person.
wow.
And he was the DP, everything. We didn't have
the film
anyone.
looks great, by the way. It looks really good.
Thank you.
So nice.
I'm not a DP, but whatever.
That's cool with me, man. So, but yeah, that's amazing. South by, wow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty shocking. Like, I mean, we were luckily there in 2019 with an episodic as well. So we've always been dreaming of going back. But yeah, like the level of budget and our lack of crew, like at some moments we felt like we're just kind of like making a little home movie or something, like, and for it to go back to South by is just, I don't know, it just feels like a miracle. I'm so excited.
So this is, I guess, a lesson for all the indie filmmakers. You don't need permission, as the Duplass brothers said. Go, make it, go now.
And we had so much fun making it. I think in remembering that sometimes it's not a means to an end. Sometimes the means are enough to satisfy your soul.
Excellent. Well, congratulations. You made it to
Thank
South by.
you.
And I know that it's going to be a hit because, yeah, I totally dug it. It's haunting me. So
Yeah,
I keep
we
throwing
can't
my
wait
fist
for
every time I think about it.
we're excited to hear all the gasps.
It's going to be so good. Okay, well, you guys, best of luck on this release. And
Thank
congrats
you.
on South by Southwest. Everybody, if you are going to South by Southwest, make sure to catch this short, Eyestring, okay? And it's going to be on Friday, March 10th at 8 p.m., right? So
I think it's at 5.
at 5? Okay. So like at 5, so just find Eyestring and go check it out.
It's in the Texas Shorts competition.
Right. It's definitely worth your time. So you guys, thank you so much, and I can't wait to talk to you again.
Yes, it was a pleasure. Thank you for having us.
All right, take care, you guys. Get safe travels too.
Thanks.